He's Jeff Gordon. Somehow we make this segue. Yesterday, the 20th anniversary of Jeff Gordon's victory in the inaugural Brickyard 400, and he joins us now. Are you in a fantasy football league, Jeff?
I am, yes. I'm also part of a system.
Okay. Can you drive any car and win? If all the cars are equal, can you drive any car?
I mean, if all the cars are equal, as hard as NASCAR works to try to make all the cars equal, there's still, a lot to be said about the engineering and the teams and trying to make every car, slightly different to have an advantage. And if all cars are equal, I like my chances, but I prefer to have a better car than everybody else like I had yesterday.
How much of attitude goes into, or confidence or cocky at being a driver?
I mean, it's certainly important to have confidence, and every time I go to Indianapolis, I have confidence. I like the track. It's been really good to me, and our cars have been good there. But, yesterday I definitely went in with a lot of confidence. Our car was really strong in qualifying, strong in practice, and they dropped the green, and we took the lead, and at that point, I knew that we had a car that was capable of winning, but my restarts were just terrible all day, and it came down to that final restart, and I can tell you I didn't have a tremendous amount of confidence going into that final restart, but yet I nailed it, and it worked out, and we got the lead.
You told me a couple of years ago that you wanted to continue to drive. You wanted your kids to be able to see you perform. Where are your kids during the race?
They're usually at the bus in the infield. Sometimes they'll go in the pit box, but usually I was talking to my daughter. I was taking her to camp this morning, and we were talking about yesterday, and she was saying, how she was watching it on TV and, jumping up and down and screaming and yelling, and, to hear that, it just puts a huge smile on my face. That's, to me, what it's really all about.
When you drop your daughter off at camp, autographs, pictures, how's it work?
A lot of congratulations, definitely. After a big win like that, it's amazing how many people watch that race. I mean, my phone just overloaded. Every time I answer a bunch of text messages and emails, I just get a whole other flood of them. But, you never know. At this particular camp, they were pretty low-key and just all saying congratulations.
Well, what kind of car are you pulling up in, though? Do they know that it's you when you pull up?
They know it's me. I mean, I've got, a Chevrolet, obviously, but, I got out and walked her in, and I know these folks anyway. So I think just because I know them and they know me, it's not like it was like starstruck. It was.
Well, you don't have your fire suit on. I mean, you don't have your that'd be kind of tacky.
I'll have to try that next time. Maybe I'll get
I like that. He's Jeff Gordon, driver of the number 24 Chevy, joining us, Dan Patrick Show. What if your daughter wanted to be a NASCAR driver?
I would definitely support it. She's actually driven a quarter midget a couple of times, and she enjoyed it. And, I think that we'll do the same thing with my son when he gets around 5 or 6 years old.
Now, these are go-karts?
Yeah, that's what I started out in when I was a kid. They're quarter midgets. They race on oval tracks, and they have a roll cage and seat belts. And, I like to think that they're very safe, but also a lot of fun and certainly something they can start being competitive in.
Would you ever consider bringing back the mustache?
No, definitely not. I did it because I accidentally put my foot in my mouth and said if we made the chase a couple years ago, I'd do it. And I regret saying that because one is the mustache never looked good that I had. And I'm not saying I don't have anything bad against the mustache. On me personally, it does not look good, and it certainly doesn't look good at 42 years old.
But I got a picture here with you next to the Intimidator, next to Earnhardt. Stash on stash.
He wore it well. He did it. He and that's the thing. I wanted to be him, and so I said I need a mustache, and I should have realized right then and there that we all are our own individual person.
Well, you had the mullet and you had the mustache working.
Luckily, I was winning races.
If I said you could win the title, but you had to bring back the stash and the Moulet.
Oh, I would do it in a heartbeat. I'll do it tomorrow.
What's the first thing to go on a driver?
I don't know. You know, for everybody, it's probably not the same. I would think that it would be, you know, you're as you get older, you get more patient. You like to think you're smarter, and with that comes takes away a little bit of aggressiveness, because I think when you're younger, you're almost too aggressive and you make a lot of mistakes. So I think it kind of balances itself out. But I'd probably say aggressiveness and then eyesight.
Yeah, that's what I wondered. And I forget who told me that. I think it might have been Richard Petty when I said, what's first thing to go? And he said it was his eyesight. I would figure it'd either be that or it would be just the enthusiasm to want to do it anymore.
Yeah, you know, I think it depends on how competitive you are. Like for me, you know, over 20 years later, I'm still with one of the top teams out there and have great race cars. And I've had those years where we've been off as a team, and it's frustrating and you know, makes you think that you're losing your edge. And then you have a year like we're having this year where I feel like I'm on top of my game and driving really well, and most of it's because the cars are doing, you know, all that I want it to do. The cars are just really great.
Well, congrats on the win, and we appreciate you stopping by as always. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, yesterday was amazing, and appreciate all the support from everybody out there, and always good to be on the show.
He's Jeff Gordon, winner of the Brickyard 400.